It's a shame that Windows Phone hasn't caught on yet. Since its launch about 2 years ago, Microsoft's mobile operating system has been consistently reviewed as a gorgeous and functional alternative to Google's Android and Apple's iOS. Still, it has been largely ignored by consumers, despite hyped product launches like the one for Nokia's Lumia 900 in April. But Microsoft isn't giving up, mostly because it can't afford to. Today, it took the wraps off the final version of Windows Phone 8, its new mobile operating system that will debut on upcoming devices like Nokia's Lumia 920 and HTC's Windows Phone 8X in a few weeks. At first glance, Windows Phone 8 looks nearly identical to Windows Phone 7.5, which currently powers Windows phones. But the latest version brings a lot to the table, most notably a slew of much-needed features that bring the OS up to speed with Android and iOS. And in a lot of ways, Windows Phone 8 surpasses its rivals. Let's start with the beginning. Like the last two versions, Windows Phone 8's interface is beautiful, functional, and unlike anything Google and Apple have been able to come up with so far. At first glance, Windows Phone 8 looks largely the same as the last two major releases. You still get the same incredible interface as before, but it's now a lot more customizable. Windows Phone's interface abandons the familiar rows of apps in favor of something called Live Tiles, a list of icons that update in real time with items like the latest headlines, Facebook posts and photos, or weather conditions. Tapping a live tile launches the full app. Windows Phone 8 takes the live tile concept a step further, letting you adjust each one to display even more information on your home screen. For example, you can expand the Facebook Live tile to a rectangle that takes up the entire width of the screen, displaying the latest photos and updates from your friends. Or you can shrink it to show no information and act as a simple app launcher. One of the most important new features is one you won't even see. The result is a dynamic home screen experience unlike any other mobile operating system out there. And it's a refreshing take on the small screen user interface after using Apple's unchanging iOS for the last 5 years. Developers will be able to program their apps to take advantage of the new tiles too, so expect to see some cool things on your home screen as Windows Phone 8 gains momentum. This is what a phone's home screen should look like. Not too heavy with widgets that can bog things down and not too light with rows of unmoving icons that can do little more than display a badge whenever you get a new email or something. Windows Phone 8's Live Tiles are the perfect hybrid, a complex tool that you can customize an infinite number of ways and a helpful companion that even your grandmother can use with ease. There are only two glaring downsides to the user interface. 1. Notifications aren't as good as they are on Android or iPhone. You can now see updates for stuff like new emails and calendar appointments on the lock screen, but you don't get a handy notifications center that stores everything. 2. Multitasking is still a pain. Holding the back button brings up a list of recently used apps, but when you try to open them, they don't always pick up where you left off. Drawbacks aside, Windows Phone 8's home screen and user interface alone are reason enough to give the operating system a shot. Other new features? There's a lot more going on with Windows Phone 8, too much to list here without boring you to death, so I'm going to stick with the big points. One of the most important new features is one you won't even see. Windows Phone 8 now supports hardware that rivals other top-of-the-line smartphones. Before, Windows Phone ran on relatively weak hardware. That was part of the problem with Nokia's Lumia 900. The operating system was good, but the internal specs and screen resolution felt dated compared to the competition. Windows Phone 8 fixes that, allowing the operating system to work on faster processors and take advantage of high-resolution screens. You can see that beginning to pay off with the gorgeous new hardware introduced by HTC and Nokia over the last few months. When those phones launch, they'll be on par with anything Google and Apple can offer. The downside is that if you currently own a Windows Phone, you won't be able to upgrade to Windows Phone 8. Older hardware won't work with Windows Phone 8, but Microsoft is releasing a different version of Windows Phone to older devices that'll let you take advantage of the new customizable Live tiles. Windows Phone 8 also supports devices with near-field communication, NFC, chips that are found in many top-of-the-line Android phones today. The technology lets you make mobile payments or swap content between devices just by tapping it to another NFC chip. It sounds cool on paper, but it's also one of the most impractical features in Windows Phone 8 right now.